So this video is going to be really fun because I'm going to share with you what I bought for myself during Amazon's most recent Prime Days event. And I'm also going to tell you stories along the way because I didn't buy a single clothing item. This is all things that just random things my husband needed. We got some Christmas gifts for the upcoming holidays, and everything has a story behind it. You all love it when I tell stories. So this is going to be a what I got during Prime Days haul and a story time combo. So here we go. Starting off in my kitchen, I shared with you all in a recent video that I needed 4 new countertop height bar stools to sit around our kitchen island. This is where we eat every meal unless we have company over and we eat in the dining room. Our bar stools, let's see, we got these in 2007. The seats are sagging. We've had them recovered. It's just time to go. They're chipped and falling apart. Long story short, I went to Nashville, saw some bar stools I loved, brought them home. They were way too big. Had to take them all the way back to Nashville, but that got me looking on Amazon. I found some that I really, really liked, but they came in 2 different colors. I could not decide just by looking at the pictures, but the measurements are the exact same size and shape as the bar stools that we currently have, so I knew that they would fit. So I ordered the bar stools in 2 different colors, a light brown kind of natural color and what is called black, but it's a 2-tone black. The seat is a little bit darker than the wood, like the wood kind of has a black finish to it, which if you look around my house, I have lots of black finishes. So we got the bar stools in 2 different colors, and I'm just gonna actually live with both colors in my kitchen for a couple days. I'm gonna sit and eat in them. I'm gonna look at what the colors look like at different times of the day, and then I'm gonna make my decision and decide which one I'm keeping and which one I'm returning. I really was hoping that these bar stools would go on sale during Prime Days. They were like 13% off, which is the price they apparently are all year long. There was no big Prime Day sale, but I needed the bar stools, so I went on and got them. During Prime Days, I always stock up on things that I know I'm going to use or things I'm running out of. And my makeup brush cleaner, I had used the last little bit of it just last week, and I use it all the time to clean my makeup brushes. So previously, I had a little 4-ounce bottle. I got the big old honking bottle this time so I wouldn't run out again. This stuff is so good. You just put some in a little glass, swoosh your makeup brushes in there until you can see all the color coming off, and then I just dab my makeup brushes on a clean like old washcloth or something, and they are so clean. My makeup goes on so much better when I keep my makeup brushes clean, and they're dry in just a couple minutes. You don't have to spend an hour washing your brushes and wait 2 days for them to dry. They're pretty much instantly dry and you can use them right away. I've tried so many things in the past to clean my makeup brushes, as I'm sure you have, and this is the best thing I have ever found. My daughter wanted the Hatch Restore alarm clock for Christmas, and I grabbed it while it was on sale for Prime Days. This is an alarm clock that has like a sunrise effect. It makes all kinds of sounds. It's made of wood. It's very aesthetically pleasing. She's had her eye on it, honestly, for a couple years. And a couple years ago, I bought her like a knockoff version thinking, oh, I don't want to spend all that money on a Hatch alarm clock. The knockoff version has gone kaput. It won't keep time. It's not doing all the things. So I just bit the bullet, decided this would be a great Christmas gift for her, and I bought the Hatch alarm clock. So in this video, if you see something you like, if I spark maybe something that you're interested in or what could be a gift that you would love to give at the holidays, I will put all the links to everything in the description box below, and I'll pin those links into the very top comment. You can also find them all on my Amazon storefront. So my husband, during Prime Days, just buys random things, right? Things show up and I open it up. I'm like, what the heck is this? Well, this was in one of those boxes. This is a concrete repair kit because we have 2 holes in our concrete. And I mean like holes this big, where when our pool was put in 2008, we told the pool installation people, do not put the handrail walking up the main stairs at the end of the pool. I said, do not do that. I went to work. They're here working on the pool. I came home that evening and they had put in the handrail. I made them take it out, but it was way too late to fix the huge holes in the concrete where the handrail was embedded. So for all of these years, we have been looking at torn up concrete. It's time to get that fixed, and I've been complaining about it for years. And apparently my husband just decided to pay attention to me and got this concrete repair kit. We are actually going to be fixing this tomorrow. It's going to be a beautiful yet cool day, and it's going to be sunny all weekend, so it's the perfect time to do this. So this has lots of pieces and parts involved. I am not getting involved in this. This is entirely him, but when he buys something, he does a ton of research. But he said this was the best concrete repair kit for do-it-yourself, do-it-at-homers, and he's going to give it a whirl. So fingers crossed this works really well and fixes the ugly holes in our concrete. So I'm headed to Los Angeles next week for a YouTube event. I was invited and I'm beyond excited, but I needed some travel accessories. So I ordered this set of silicone covers to put on top of your bottles and things that could leak in your luggage. I've got to fly to LA, obviously, and it never fails. No matter how hard I try, some of my bottles leak in my baggage, and I don't know why I haven't done this sooner. It's always been on my you need to get that list, and I've just never done it. Now I did it. So the set comes with 10 or so different colored bottle covers. This is what they look like, and you can bend and pull and stretch them and put them on top of your bottles and different things. And so if there is a leak, it will be contained in here. You can just rinse these out and use them over and over. I actually have several trips coming up from now to the end of the year, so these are going to get put to good use. Then I bought 11 different toys. I'm going to do a YouTube video for you all showing you toys that I thought would be a ton of fun and great for kids like toddler age to about age 7. And those toys have started coming in. Actually, they all arrived at this point, and I am so excited to sit down and play with these toys. These are all toys that when I was little, I would have loved to have had these toys. But one of them that I've already gotten out of the box and I just think is the cutest stinking thing is these set of stepping stones. There are 5 stepping stones that come in the package, and these are stepping stones for like a toddler, for like a kid who is walking a little bit on up to maybe like a 3 or 4-year-old. You set these down, they're super sturdy, they have grippers on the bottom so they're not going to move around, they're not going to tip over. But watch this. They have lights and music, so you can lay out the stepping stones and the kids can hop on them, they can jump on them, walk on them, do different sounds, they light up. It's a great activity to keep your kids active, to work on their motor skills, to keep them out of the house, because you can also take these outside. They can also be used in the house, so if it's a rainy day or the dead of winter. I just thought this was adorable. So when I was little, obviously I didn't have these stepping stones, but I used to take the cushions off of the couch and all the furniture, honestly, and lay them around the house. And that was my trail, like my walking trail. And I would run around the house and only step on the cushions. And my mother would get so annoyed because I had every cushion off of every couch laying all over the house. And so when I saw these stepping stones, I just thought it was a great idea. I would have loved this when I was little. They're bright and fun, and the fact that they light up and play music, I mean, hey, what kid is not gonna love that? So here's all the colors stacked up together: green, yellow, orange, red, and blue. Love this. I think this is so fantastic for a kid. So that toy video will be out in a couple weeks. I've got to sit down, poor me, and play with all these toys. I get to be a little kid and play with all of the toys. I spent so much time in research just looking up adorable toys that were going to be on sale. I wanted to make sure that I had toys for all age ranges and boys and girls, things that you could do inside and outside. It's really going to be a fantastic video. I did open up one more toy that I want to share with you here, and I didn't tell my husband about this toy. He was cooking outside, he was grilling. I went outside, set it down, and when I started it up, he literally jumped. It scared the bejeebers out of him. And I think this is so freaking cool. So this is a remote control gecko. And this gecko does two different things. Of course, it goes on the ground, right? It shimmies around. You can go backwards and forwards and all the things. You control it with the remote. Its eyes light up, so it is super cool looking. And when you put this thing down, it moves so fast. Like its head goes back and forth, its tail goes, its arms are going, and it's not like a slow moving remote control type thing. This thing hauls booty, and it is so much fun. So I had this gecko come up behind him while he was grilling, and he just thought that was hilarious. The coolest thing about this gecko is it will go up the wall. There are two little settings on the bottom, and when you put it on the wall setting, it turns on some kind of little fan right here, and it kind of vacuum seals itself to the wall, and it will go up and down the wall, back and forth. It's scurrying around. It is so cool. It will not turn a corner, obviously. It has no way to keep a grip. But if you have a big wall, like I was in the dining room, making this gecko go everywhere. My husband and I were laughing and hooting and hollering. If you have little kids that you need to give a gift for, this gecko is so much fun. So anyway, just be on the lookout for that toy video. It'll be out in a couple weeks or so. The magnetic necklace clasp that I have on the back of my necklace, which allows me to just put it off and on literally like that. I love it. I bought another one because I got a new necklace that it's a little bit dressier, but still, once I've had this magnetic necklace clasp, I will not ever go back to like trying to do the little clasp. So I got another one to put on the other necklace. If you wear necklaces, highly recommend. Like this is literally a no-brainer. Super strong magnet. It comes in, well, the one I got is gold. You can also get it in silver. It keeps clasping together. Boom, there it is. So I think I shared on Instagram these pajamas, these satin pajamas that have teddy bears all over them. They are so much fun. And I don't mind doing some like crazy fun things with pajamas, and the teddy bear thing is like super trendy right now. And this same set of pajamas comes in like different colors and different patterns. Some have stripes, some have like polka dots. One has little teddy bears and pastries all over it. So I decided to go back during Prime Days and get another pattern. If you have a female in your life, or even you, and you want to jump on the teddy bear trend, or there's somebody that loves teddies, these are some really great pajamas. They're just your classic button-up satin pajama, elastic waist pants. They're big and flowy. I have on a size medium. It's a smidge big for me, but I kind of like my pajamas to be a little bit oversized. I don't want to feel restricted at all, but I'm 5'2", weigh 134, and you can see me here in the medium. Just a smidge big. Then I had to stock up on my pet laundry detergent. I took Maxie to the groomer the other day, our little schnauzer, and every time he goes to the groomer, I wash every bit of pet stuff in the house. And now it is taking me 2 loads to do that. So I'm going through this stuff pretty quickly, and I swear by this. It gets the dog stink, the dog smell, the dog oil, the hair, everything out of their blankets and my couch covers and all of it. There's a little scooper inside. You just put 2 scoops into your laundry in place of your regular laundry detergent. And so I used up what I had, so I went back and got another bag. And I ordered another travel steamer, exactly the same one that I had before, but I got it in blue. So I'm going to take this with me when I travel. It does come with a little carrying bag. Last year on our way home from vacation, I wrapped the cord around this like this, and somehow in my luggage, I think I damaged the cord. It's my fault, but I love this little thing. I take it everywhere with me because, you know, you can't have wrinkly clothes, and I needed another, so I decided to get it in blue. So we had new stairs built on the outside of our living room, so you could go down to the pool. Well, they're built out of composite wood. They are gray, and it's really hard to tell where one step stops and another one begins. Like, I have a hard time going down them. We had the same issue with our other stairs. This is nothing new. The dogs just need a reference point to be able to see where the stairs are. So we bought some solar stair lights. They are very low profile. They're kind of a triangular shape. They're completely solar powered, no wires needed. You just decide where you want them, put a screw into the wood, and they hook right on, and they are so good. So the solar panel kind of sits on the top and the light is on the bottom, so the light shines down onto the stair below it. So now I can perfectly see where each of the stairs are. If I go outside at night, they're lit up so nobody's going to trip, and the dogs have no problem getting up or down. If you have any kind of stairs outside, highly recommend these little solar lights. And you can get them in packs of like 4, 8, 12, anything that you need. My husband is a camo fanatic and a Carhartt lover. That's all he wants to wear is Carhartt. And if he could get camo and Carhartt, he would be a happy man. Well, guess what? Carhartt came out with a camo long-sleeved t-shirt. So of course he ordered it. It actually showed up last night. I had no idea this was coming. He ripped open the bag and came running in the kitchen with this on and was like, look at what I got. He loves it so much. He went back this morning and ordered another one. But this apparently is the first time that Carhartt has actually put out camo stuff, and he is obsessed. He wears Carhartt t-shirts every single day to work. He wears Carhartt hoodies in the winter to work, and he loves their long sleeve tees. And when he saw this camo, it was like a done deal. So I saw this makeup brush holder on TikTok, thought it was so neat. Went over on Amazon, looked it up, found it for myself, and bought it in the color gray. And it has a gold little knob at the top. And I thought, I don't need this for my makeup brushes, but how cool would this be to put my toothbrushes in, right? So it can sit on the countertop. You can kind of swivel the door open and closed and hold our toothbrushes. My husband uses one of those like tooth pickers on a stick type thing, and we just have them on the countertop. And I know that's gross, but I really don't have any other place to put our toothbrushes. Years ago, I tried to keep them like in a cabinet. Oh my gosh, it just was so annoying to have to open the cabinet to get my toothbrush out. So I thought this little kind of acrylic-y, clear with a tint, good looking little stand thingy would be great for our toothbrushes. And it does come in lots of different colors. I just like the gray for our bathroom. So this summer, my husband got a bird feeder and he put it out back. So anytime that we're outside or we're in the kitchen here, we can look outside and see the birds. And that bird feeder is always full of birds, but my husband loves it. Then he said, I want to get a, what did he call it? A salt block or something to feed the deer. Like, what deer? We don't have any deer. He said, oh, we have deer all the time. I have, like, only maybe 3 or 4 times, and we've lived here 24 years. Only 3 or 4 times have I ever seen a deer out back. He swears to me they're there, and he will go out there and point out all of the animal tracks that are in our backyard outside of the fence where the dogs can't get. We own more property on that side of the fence, and he says there's all kinds of animals back there. And he proves it to me. He shows me their footprints. I just never actually see them. So we have been watching a show on Netflix called Alone, where there are 10 contestants or so. They drop them in a remote location. It could be Australia, South Africa. I don't know. There's been lots of seasons of this show Alone, and those people are completely alone. They have to make their own shelter, make fire, catch food, and just survive. And whoever lasts the longest wins. So we have been watching the show. The contestants are given trail cams that they can set up around their shelter to know when there's an animal close by. Yesterday, we get a package from Amazon, and it is a trail camera. And I said, why in the world do we need a trail camera? My husband said he wants to set it up out by the bird feeder and see all the animals that are walking by outside, and really at night. So it has night vision. He can sit in the house on his phone and see everything from the trail camera. It records so he can go back and look if he sees deer prints or raccoon prints or something, whatever leaves prints, he can go back and see it. He thinks that is so interesting. Thank you to the show alone for now sparking my husband to need a trail camera. He's going to get that set up this weekend. And yes, I guess we'll be watching animals that go by at night. It turns out I'm sitting here looking at all this stuff. My husband has bought the majority of this. I didn't, he did. But another thing that showed up with Amazon was this thing that says Sky Fire. And I open it thinking, I didn't buy this, like what the heck? And this was inside. So my husband gets home from work and I said, what in the heck is that? He said, it's a super high powered, very fancy flashlight. And I said, why do we need a flashlight? Well, we have flashlights. He said, oh, but we don't have a flashlight like this. So last night after dinner, we took the dogs on a walk. It was pitch dark and he took the flashlight, which is something he does every time we walk the dogs in the dark. And my husband, anytime we go anywhere that's more than like an hour and a half drive in the car, he stocks our car with bottles of water, a blanket, and a flashlight. Funny story. Does your husband do that? It must be a guy thing. But anyway, so we took this flashlight on a walk last night and literally, I am mind blown at this flashlight. It does so many cool things. So you punch this one button to turn it on and there are 4 different brightness levels. But the head of this flashlight, can you see this pulls in and out? So when you have the light on, you can make the light spread out and cover a huge area, or you can make it minimize and be a spotlight. So my husband is showing me this stuff and I've never seen a flashlight like this. I've never seen a flashlight that was this bright, or one that you can widen and shorten the angle. I mean, most flashlights, they light up right in front of you. You can see so you don't step on something. This is a flashlight you could use if you needed to see way off in the distance. So when we got home from our walk, I made him go out back and I went with him so I could film this for you all. So here he is shining the flashlight on the back of our house. It lights up the entire back side of our house. And then he shrunk it up and did a spotlight way up into the treetops. So just so you can see the difference, it is amazing. So he was so obsessed with this flashlight. He has already ordered another one for my father-in-law as a Christmas gift. My father-in-law has a thing with flashlights, so maybe it runs in the family, right? But yeah, he is going to think this is the coolest thing since I don't know what. But I haven't even told you the best part yet. This flashlight came with another lens that you can put on right here, and you can start a fire with this flashlight. The lens makes you learn this in school, right, in science class. It does some kind of crazy magnification, heats up things. And so my husband took a piece of paper and put it on our kitchen countertop and started a fire with the flashlight. He told me it was going to make fire and I said, there's no way. I was so wrong. This is the coolest freaking thing. When that piece of paper started smoking, I was mind blown. Done deal. This is the best flashlight I have ever seen. Then we have a bunch of stinking squirrels. Of course, we live in Kentucky and squirrels will chew up anything. They will damage anything. And we are constantly trying to just take control of the squirrels. So this spring, when we uncovered all of our patio furniture, we discovered that the squirrels had chewed a hole about this big smack dab in the middle of the cover that we have on our outdoor couch. It is so big, there's no way that I can repair that. So we had to order a new cover for the couch. We have the same cover on that goes on all of our other patio furniture. I love the way it looks. It's this really pleasing, kind of like a brownish gray color, super sturdy, has handles. We cover our furniture all summer when it's going to rain or we're going to have bad weather. But the couch, unfortunately, we had to replace the cover. So if you have patio furniture and you're looking for covers, highly recommend these. So here's a funny story for you. I was cooking dinner earlier this week and we were gonna have grilled chicken, kind of like a broccoli cheesy rice, and then I was gonna steam some broccoli. So my husband's out at the grill, he's in charge of the chicken, I'm cooking the rice, and I have everything set up to steam my broccoli. I don't boil my broccoli, I actually steam my broccoli, and I have a little steamer basket that goes inside one of the pots. You put water in the bottom of your pot, set this in, fill the basket with your broccoli, put the lid on, and it steams it. So steaming your vegetables preserves more nutrients than boiling your vegetables. And plus, you know, I don't like soggy vegetables, so I always steam them. So he's cooking, I'm making rice, and I'm like, okay, broccoli, you should be about ready. And I lift the lid off the pot to test it with my fork, and it is hard as a rock. I'm like, oh my gosh, like we're almost ready to eat. So I turn up the heat and I wait a few minutes and I go to test it again, hard as a rock. And I'm like, what in the world is going on? Like, did I not put the lid on right? Did all the water steam out of here? And I reached into the pot and I was gonna pull the basket out to check my water. And when I did, this little lid went goop. And all of these rungs just melted. It was just like, I have never seen such. Apparently, I forgot to put water in the pot before I put my basket and broccoli in there, and it had been on full on heat for like, I don't know, 15 minutes, and just melted my steamer basket. And so that night for dinner, we just had to have rice and chicken because we had nothing else. So I told my husband, get on Amazon, look these up because I'm over here cooking, order one of these, and they came in a 2-pack, which was almost the same price as just getting one. So I got 2 more, and he laughed and said, I've got a backup one for next time I ruin our steamer basket. I was out of my shampoo and conditioner that I use every time I wash my hair. And every now and then I just need to try something new. It's like my hair gets tired of the products I'm using and I gotta switch it up. So I decided to get the shampoo and conditioner that my hairdresser uses on my hair when I go get a haircut. It smells really good. I could tell it was very hydrating. She's a curly girl, so she uses really good stuff on my hair, and I bought just the normal size bottles of shampoo and conditioner. I'm using those and I really do like them. They're super hydrating, not heavy, don't weigh my hair down. So I don't know, I might stick with these. I may go back to my other ones at some point. I gotta go back and forth. I just can't keep using the same thing all the time. So don't laugh at me when I show you this bottle. But this is my Diva wash, my glamorous wash. This is laundry detergent that I use when I wash my bed sheets and my beach towels. Because I go through so much of this stuff, like this is an obsession. I have to have my sheets and my beach towels washed in this Diva scent. If you have never tried this, I know you don't understand and you're gonna think this is crazy. But for those of you that have used the Diva wash, you totally get me. So I used to buy this stuff in a little tub about that big, and I was just constantly having to buy it over and over. They recently came out with this big old mama tub, and I went through it and had to buy another one. This can be a little pricey, I know, but it is so stinking worth it. So the directions actually say for a full load of laundry, use 1/3 cup. I don't use that much. I might use 1/8 of a cup. It really just depends on how strong you want your scent to be. And I use a fabric softener, but it is scent free. So a lot of you all have told me that you bought this and you don't smell this. Well, make sure, number one, that you're not using a regular laundry detergent with it, because this is the detergent. You need nothing else. And if you're using a fabric softener, make sure that it is unscented. But when we get in bed at night, I just love this Diva scent. And let me tell you where is it? Oh, there used to be a description on the front of this, kind of describing what it smelled like. But it is a warm, woodsy, there's notes of like, what is it? Somebody help me out. It's just this warm, just kind of sexy, woodsy scent. That's why I love it on our bed sheets and on beach towels. When you take your towels out in the sun, it just kind of warms up that smell. This is made with essential oils, and so the sun just brings it out and just makes your beach towels so luxurious. Well, that's what I bought. bought during Prime Days, y'all. A bunch of freaking things now that I think about it, but we got some really good deals. And actually, I looked this morning and a lot of these things are still on sale. And I'll give you a tip. If you saw something in the video, and it doesn't have to be this video, it really is any item on Amazon. If there's something you want and it's not on sale, if you put that item in your shopping cart, you will be notified at the top of your cart if the price changes. So if the price goes down, you're going to see a notification, so then you can just buy it at that point. If you don't put it in your cart, you'll never know. You're going to have to keep an eye on it, right? So when there's something I want, I always put it in my cart and just watch the price. So for that little tidbit, I appreciate you shopping my links, which can be found below the video. See you guys later.